The time is now. Disney just held their big parks panel at the D23 Expo over in Anaheim, and one announcement that seems to have caught everyone's eyes was the Monsters Inc. door coaster. Josh D'Amaro made a bold first impression by saying that everything talked about is actually happening, and that none of it is indeed blue sky. That means that this attraction is coming to the parks for real. We're here to discuss the origins of this theme park expansion, what we can expect when it opens, and possibly even give an opening time frame. So let's get right into it. Talks of a type of door coaster themed to the Monsters Inc. franchise has been in discussion for many years among Disney fans. I'm talking as early as 2008 when rumors first began to spread. Many have made their predictions. Some originally said it would be a suspended roller coaster built in Soundstage 1 adjacent to Pixar Place. Even concept art was leaked for this one. Others described it as a reimagined rock and roller coaster. But despite all these rumors across the years, one clear vision seemed to be consistent among them all, that the ride will be based off the door factory scene from the film. Not only are we receiving this state-of-the-art attraction, but we're also getting an entire land based off the Pixar classic, which was totally unexpected and a surprise to us all. Even D'Amaro seemed to have a smile on his face when making the announcement. Bringing us forward to 2024, here are the new story details for this new family thrill coaster. Directly from the press release, quote, "It's laughter thereafter when a brand new land themed around Pixar Animation Studios' Monsters Inc. comes to life at Disney's Hollywood Studios," unquote. This is going to be a fully fleshed out strip of land that will feel lived in, breathing with life around every corner. You'll be able to casually walk down the street and possibly run into some of your favorite monsters. This new area will pick up immediately after the first movie, where humans have been invited to visit the monster world. Your role is to help these monsters generate enough power, captured by your laughter, and to do so you'll be able to visit the Laugh Factory where the main e-ticket ride is housed. You'll get to see the sights, hear the laughs, and zoom through the building just like Mike and Sully once did. This isn't your average building tour, however. You'll get to do all of this on one of the doors flying and zipping through the vault. Not to mention this will be the first ever suspended roller coaster inside of a Disney theme park. Now that we have discussed the story, let's talk about the ride and what you can expect. Manufactured by Vekoma, it can be compared to other rides of the same ride type at parks worldwide. Look no farther than Freedom Flyer at SpongeBob or Dragon Flyer at Dollywood. This ride will be fully enclosed and include many show scenes along the way. Let's get down to the base of it. At the time of recording this episode, not much information has been released. But we do, however, have this one model that was showed off at the expo show floor. Since the story takes place where the movie leaves off, the facade is designed to be set when the monsters are after your laughter rather than screams. It's a marvelous one-to-one recreation of the factory, with its main show building being hidden by a themed wall in front. You might be able to compare it to Remy's Ratatouille Adventure over at Epcot on how they will achieve this false sense of reality. The ride itself will be a first for a Disney park. This will be the first time they've ever done a fully suspended roller coaster. Despite being in a park with some of their most extreme thrill rides, this will be fully family friendly, and most likely to only have a height requirement of about 40 to 42 inches. That means most everyone will get to enjoy it. The restraint, like other rides of its type, will come down from over you but rest only on your lap. The trains will consist of 6 to 8 rows and be 2x2 seating. Quick side note, looking at the design, it doesn't seem to have a place for your belongings. Unconfirmed, but we do believe that this ride will feature some sort of locker system similar to what can be found over on Tron. They could even theme it to look like that one scene from the movie, where they're racing through the bathrooms to find Boo, and cleverly work it into the story somehow. After boarding, this is when it gets fun. A claw will come down and pick up your ride vehicle to the top floor of the attraction, as if you are riding one of the doors into the vault. This also will mean that some clearly thought out engineering will be at play here. In order to make the ride efficient, they're building, yes, a dual load station, but also each load will be a dual load station in itself. That's 4 load-unload stations, all at use at once. I mean, has this even ever been attempted before? The reason for this would be due to the complicated elevator system. Think of it as if one train is currently rising. You would have to wait an extended period of time for the lift to reset, and then the next train to arrive. This way, there's always movement. While one train is rising to the top, the elevator paired next to it will be lowering to welcome new monsters to the last floor. It might be much easier to explain once we see it come to fruition, but this is the best way I can explain it for now, unfortunately. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Once you board and rise to the top, gravity will carry you as you zip and fly through the door vault. Hopefully this ride will feature loads of monsters and animatronics along the way to build a story rather than being just a coaster in a box. One interesting rumor circulating is that Pandora will be built on the current home of Monsters Inc. Mike and Sully to the Rescue at Disney California Adventure, and that all the figures from that ride would be repurposed for Hollywood studios. Not sure how true that is though. With the nearly 20-year-old ride, I would much rather like to see some newer and much more state-of-the-art technology be used for this attraction. Taking a step backwards from when you first arrived to Monstropolis, we expect the queue to be set up very similarly to the Ride and Go Seek attraction found over in Tokyo. Here you enter through the front lobby before making your way onto the ride. It could be possible that they drew inspiration from this when designing the queue. Now, where is this so-called door coaster being built? With so much room it will need to occupy, that limits our options. Not only is it one ride, but it is also a whole mini-land with shops, restaurants, and character meet-and-greet spots. The most popular rumor seems to suggest that it would replace Grand Avenue and Muppet Courtyard. This seems to have created a riot in the Disney fandom though, as it would mean the closure of Muppet Vision 3D. Personally, I'd be more upset at the demise of Pizza Rizzo, but that's just me. Another candidate would be the immediate closure of Animation Courtyard. This area hasn't seen much love in years. It would make perfect sense. Replace Launch Bay, Disney Junior, and The Little Mermaid with a brand new area everyone can enjoy. The one deterring factor that might make this rumor false, however, is that back in December, Disney confirmed that a new Little Mermaid theatrical type show would make its debut this fall to the park. With summer quickly winding down, and no new information being given, we don't know how close they are to being ready. But also, if Monstropolis was to be built in Animation Courtyard, we don't know how they would accomplish it without completely demolishing all of the sound stages in that area. You also have to consider all of the ops and Imagineering offices that are built just beyond Launch Bay. This would mean some serious relocation of all those structures. Recently on X, someone who works backstage there stated all staff have been informed they will soon be leaving their workspace and relocated elsewhere on property. Unsure if this is related to the D23 news. The post has since been taken down, and we will not be including the individual's name or social media handle out of job security and privacy. Aside from trying to figure out where this land would be built, you can also see a clue as to when the concept art was conceived. Looking closely at the artist's signature in the bottom right hand corner, they signed it with their name and then the year 20. That could be a good insight as to whether or not the rendering is outdated or not, and not at all what will be delivered to us. Then again, we can never fully trust Disney concept art. Things are changed or tweaked along the way. I mean, just look at Epcot for example. What we received at the D23 Expo is completely different to what we actually got in real life. It's fun to imagine what this world would look like though. It's clear aside from a great e-ticket level ride, there will also be a full recreation of Harryhausen's from the film to be the land's main dining offering. Rumors have been speculating that despite the announcement, even Disney isn't too sure where the coaster will go. With construction beginning as soon as next year, they'll have to know for sure soon enough, as site planning will be ramping up. What do you think about all this? Let us know. This land seems to be getting the loudest buzz over everything announced at D23 this year, and it's no wonder why. We're finally receiving the Door Coaster, which has been rumored for many years. With construction breaking ground in 2025, and a 3 to 5 year opening window, I think it's safe to say that we'll be riding through the Door Vault with Mike and Sully somewhere between 2028 and 2030. Despite having to wait several years for it to be built, it will absolutely give us something to be excited for. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of ParkTwister. If you're new around, please consider subscribing, and if you enjoyed the video, then go and hit that like button. To help support us even farther, all affiliated links can be found in the description below. Alright, thanks for watching everyone.